Hi there and welcome to Life Storytelling Series. On this series, we will showcase various individuals, different walks of life, different stories, real people telling their own real stories and sharing their life experiences with you. You know, when you hear somebody say their own story in their own words, with their own expressions and nobody coloring it, there is a way that you can connect with it, and that's what's going to happen today. Our guest for this edition today is a dear friend and sister of mine. Perhaps you are watching and you feel like the clock is ticking, right? And I know many young ladies fall in this pressure of time is going, age is no longer on your side, and it just seems like the world is going by. Hear his story and see how he ended. And I'm sure that you will realize that there's so much that you can do even while you wait. Let's run along and hear a story.
Hi, my name is Fabulous Julian. That's what my friends call me, but just bear with me. My name is Ifeanyi Etoukwu-Oludumila. I'm from Delta State, Agbo, Boji Owa. I need to say it the way my father will always want me to say it. I'm the fourth and middle child. I have 2 brothers and 4 sisters. I double as a female and a male in my family. I schooled in Agbo, Delta State, then proceeded to Auchi Polytechnic, where I studied what I've always loved to do, fine arts, and graduated as a graphic artist. I work with one of Nigeria's oldest and forward-thinking financial institutions. That's a story for another day, how I got in there. But today, let's just talk about the biggest lessons I learned in relationship, both with man and God. So one of the lessons I learned is that delay, yes, they say it, delay is never denial. And most of the things we say, we actually get them. I got married after 40. A lot of people thought it was over, and I also didn't want to get married because what I really wanted was a white guy. I didn't want all the drama around Nigerian men. Yeah, somehow we have all those things that we leech onto, but I didn't want all that drama. You can see how Oroboish I am, so I didn't want drama in my life. 38, 40, I celebrated my 40th birthday and no guy. In fact, I remember friends saying, why are you letting the whole world know you are 40 even when you were not married? I'm like, my birthday certificate is with me, can't lie. So I can't deceive myself. And the small body you are seeing, it's not like I'm sick. It's just my nature, but I have to celebrate myself. But I realized that I did not just wait, I made some decisions. I knew what I wanted, even if it didn't come with signs and placards when it actually happened. What I want to bring out from this is what you say is what you get. And it might not actually come the way you expect it. And you really need to learn how to actually wait and wait patiently, because the things you put in God's hands, sometimes it might take longer than you expect. So I kept on doing what I know how to do. I kept on focusing on my life, despite not family pressure though. I call it pastoral pressure. I call it societal pressure, friends pressure. It's not like my family were not bothered, but there's nothing you can do. You are an external force to whoever you're trying to actually ask certain questions. Just pray for the person. So I waited, and it happened in the ways that I could never think or imagine. Where I want to focus on is in the waiting despite all the external pressure. You know what you want, you know what you're looking for. And question that a lot of people asked me was, when it happened, how did you know? There is no way you can explain how it happened. You take your own experience and enjoy it the way it is. So it's not cast in stone, but just know that it will align with the things you've been telling yourself. So I'm going to share a quick story. Despite the fact I didn't want to get married, But when I go to church, when the pastor ministers, I can't forget this particular message. My pastor will say, there is no famine in the land. I believe, I receive. I might not act it out in church. I get home, I will act it out. So I got home this particular day. I made a list, foolscap sheets. I stuck them together, made a list. What I listed, they were not like things that if other young ladies or even friends see them, they will be like, wow, they are, to me, they were useless things. I wanted a guy that wears tall, braids his hair, because to me, being an artist or a creative individual, a man that can braid his hair doesn't care a lot about what people say. And that aligns with my surname, which is the reason I kept my maiden name. Etoukwu means I don't care what people say. So I needed the kind of person that can align with my lifestyle. So I made my list. One thing on my list was the person will be cooking and I'll be on the kitchen marble. The day that happened, it was like, I've dreamt of this before, you know. I stood beside my list and I was laughing at myself because I pasted it on the door. All the things I wrote, I was asking myself, Julian, are you sure you can match what you have here, you know? I squeezed and I flushed. But you know, when you write, you have committed to something, knowingly or unknowingly. When I met my husband, Dr. Oludumila, he did not look like anything on my list. It was over time I started seeing those things. Maybe one of these days, you'll hear me share all the details about what I've seen so far that aligned exactly with what was on my list. But let's also leave this relationship bit and let's talk about speaking and believing what you say to yourself. My dad told me that at age 5, I promised him I was going to work with the organization where I work now at age 5. I was playing with his annual report and he said, I brought it to him and I was like, Daddy, what will it take me to work here? And he told me I have to study mass communications and get to work in corporate affairs of that organization. And he said, I just told him, Daddy, don't worry, I'll make you proud. I'll work here. Today, the same department, the same organization. And it did not happen at a time where you think I would have been hired. I was hired way beyond the age I was supposed to be hired. So what I'm trying to bring out here is believe in yourself, believe in the things you say to yourself, and wait patiently. There is an app every one of us can download. That app, I call it Patience. Just be patient. And those things you've told yourself can actually come to pass. Delay is not denial. A book that I happened to lay my hands on, I designed like the inner layout. I don't know if it's out now, but part of that book, it was stated that some people are in the shopping floor to point you to the things you're looking for. And I think that's actually what happened to me. Yes, remember I said I didn't want to get married. You don't know what God really wants. Sometimes, no matter what you are saying, He knows the best for you. I went to church one day and my pastor was like, I've been looking for you. Okay, looking for me. But the funny thing is, I might not go to church the day they expect me to come to church, but the next day I'll go for my Bible class to teach. So they met me and they were like, we've been looking for you. I want to introduce you to someone. My life was work, my business, church. The church, while you are sharing grace, I'm already on my way home. So I'm like, okay, you can introduce. I thought that was business coming. I didn't know it was a bigger business, you know. So he said, hopefully next week. I'm like, okay. We closed. I was already on the other side of the road waiting for a cab. And they were like, Pastor is calling you. I thought, okay, meeting, Bible school meeting or something. Got inside his office and he was like, Jonathan, meet Julian. I want both of you to settle down. Oh, gosh. I'm like, my matter don't reach like this. What's this? Is this the best way? And I don't know this person. Young children that call me auntie, they were all in the office, and you didn't even wait for them to go before you did this introduction. I could not even turn to look at the person they introduced me to say hello or anything. I was ashamed of my entire life. At 40, look at how they are doing introduction. So married by force. I was angry. I didn't look at him. Immediately my pastor said it, he walked out. He knows both of us very well. But I don't know the guy. The guy doesn't know me. But he's been a friend for over 40 years to my husband. And he's been my pastor for over 10 years. I was looking for a way out, and somebody walked in. I pretended, "Oh, you are calling me, sir?" The guy just said, "Yes," I just followed. That was how I disappeared from the office. And I got out there, my legs could not carry me because I was ashamed, I was embarrassed, and different negative thoughts started welling up in me. The kind of life I lived before now, you don't have access to me. Nobody knows my house. You don't have my number. And they could not give him my number, so they asked him to go meet me. That's the only way we can proceed from there. I was watching from my glasses. I saw him coming, and my thought was give him a wrong number. But I didn't. Well, I know that the way I gave the number is only someone that is truly interested that can get that number. He got it, and we got talking. Every evening, he will ask me how his work. When I'm going to work in the morning, he calls me. At the point, I'm like, were you advised not to see face to face or something? Because I didn't show up in church anymore. I was ashamed. I just go to work Monday to Friday. I just stay back. But we always talk on phone. One day I'm like, okay, let's meet at the mall. And that was how the journey started. 6 months later, we were married. So that's it. And it's been what I really wanted. Those things that I listed, I saw beyond that list. I decided not to get married because I didn't see the white man. I really wanted a Oyibo man, but I didn't find one. But what God gave me is an Oyibo man that is from Ekiti. And, when we share our story, it looks very easy, very sweet. I won't say there were no nights that I did not wet my pillows, but not because I didn't have a man, but because of the drama around me. It's not even from my family, so what's the problem? You go out there, Julian, you the select man, a torchlight you go taste, those kind of things in WhatsApp group with your classmates, they are telling you the same everywhere. And you're like, we left school 20 years ago, you are not married, what is it? You have to attend other people's wedding. I said, I'm not coming. Lots of challenges out there, but most of them were external, not even coming from my immediate family. Someone actually told me, your mom is wicked if she's not disturbing you. I said, my mom knows that when it's God's time, He will make everything beautiful. So the challenges were there. There were days like you want to put something up and you just remember you are a lady. There are some things you can't do, but we find our way around all that. But my advice is don't let those things, they will come, but they don't kill, they prepare you. 2, while waiting, don't just sit and do nothing. While waiting, I started my business. I ran that business for 7 years without proper structures. Yes, it collapsed, but I still got a job while doing all that. So while waiting, prepare yourself, get equipped. Don't just wait in vain. What if it doesn't happen? And what if it happens and you need to support? So there are things we need to do. Wait and walk. Wait and pray. Wait and also keep your eyes open. Imagine, yes, I had my initial gra when they did the introduction, but the Holy Spirit, I remember when I sent him one stinker as SMS, he was like, young lady, calm down, what is it? And I heard right then, Julian, nobody's going to steal you from the phone, just be nice. So still have a relationship with the Holy Spirit in as much as you are waiting, whether you are saying you want it or you don't want it, partner with the Holy Spirit, because anything you need in life, if you place an order, God will deliver. In your search, in your waiting, don't just stay and do nothing. So I didn't want anyone to tag me like, maybe this girl is a banji or something. So yeah, I fell in love, I fell out of love. Twice, I broke their heart. And once mine was broken, but it did. In fact, as at that time, it was a plastic heart. It just took this shape and gave the guy the way to go. So the first one was my university boyfriend. I just realized that I can't live elsewhere than here. And my guy was not ready to come here. Things were not just, it wasn't aligning. I don't want to be outside this city. So there is no point trying. We dated for almost 6 years. But January 1, Julian, I don't even understand you. Crossover service was when the young man called. I'm so sorry, Efosa, I don't know if you're watching this. The young man called and was like, what is there for us this year? I said, nothing. It's over, but I'm looking back, that was not the best way to approach it. We would have had time to discuss it. But we're both fine. We're still in the same school WhatsApp group. We still talk. He was even ready to come for my father's funeral, but because of COVID restrictions, we couldn't see. The second one was good, but I wasn't seeing clearly if this was what I really wanted for myself. It wasn't aligning. There is no Oyibo in it. So it wasn't working. Then the one that broke my heart, I would say he did, but I was ready for it. I was prepared. It was an interesting relationship. We wanted to travel abroad, if possible, not come back. But I didn't get the visa. He got the visa, and he got there. He got married. Eventually, I heard, we had our meeting, and I said, I love you enough to hand you over, Not like it didn't hurt, but I'm happy. I discovered things that I didn't know, he didn't tell me, and I wouldn't have been able to stay with that. And I don't believe we'll be together if we went ahead. But I think both of us are happy wherever we find ourselves. I wish him well in everything. So the breakup was a super blessing for me. And I want to add my family to it because we would have been dealing with a lot that we were not prepared for. Life is not cast in stone. Life has no mold. You might plan, but God knows the perfect plan and will for your life. And when you see things start playing out in your life, don't run helter-skelter, take in, advice from every nook and cranny. Trust God for direction and stay with what you have agreed. The biggest friend I had was God, that I didn't even bring this part up. When I want to sleep, if you live on the other side, let's say you are my next door neighbor, you will think I'm living with a guy. I partnered with God fully, and it was a romantic relationship. And when I'm going to work, I tell him, I like, we are sitting together, tighten your seatbelt, we are going, it was that full and robust that I hear him, he talks to me. Yes, I know we believe different things, but whatever you believe, listen. He's your coach, he's your director, he's your everything. And he will speak concerning relationship because I know that this is not man's thing, it's God's thing. So he has plans for you. He will guide every step. He will direct you. But be patient and listen. He's always speaking.
Wow, what a story. Did you learn anything? Did you connect with her in any way? I mean, I know many people, and I didn't marry as late as she did. And I totally can relate, when everybody and everything around you just keeps telling you time is going and you okay. I mean, how does anybody celebrate their 40th birthday when there is no guy and just living their life to the fullest, as much as God gives you the grace to do. So I am sure that you have been able to connect with our story today. It doesn't matter how long you have to wait. There is a reason for your waiting. Perhaps, I hope you heard when she mentioned that the heartbreak that she experienced was a blessing in disguise. There are many times that the detours on the journeys in our lives are actually for specific reasons, so that we can enter really into what God has prepared for you. I'm happy to tell you that your delay is not denial. There is a reason, a purpose, and a season to your waiting, because in due time, you will experience what God really has prepared for you. She mentioned that what you say is what you get. Can you be deliberate about what you're saying into your future? What's your dream marriage like? What do you want to see? I mean, I remember saying that she wrote the list even though it looked ridiculous. But guess what? Everything she wrote on that list, almost everything, I think, she's seen it now. And it didn't come in the way that she thought she was going to see it. But it did come. So it's not what you are seeing now. You've got to allow the Spirit of God lead you. I say to my proteges and my mentees that the biggest decision you can make after the decision of your salvation is that of the person that you marry. You don't want to take that decision by yourself or with your limited knowledge or your limited understanding, because you really cannot see beyond you. I hope that this has blessed you. I hope that you've been able to find the courage for your waiting season, and that God never forgets you. Delay isn't denial. That real man, that real woman, that person for you, that real person for you is waiting, and you will find them very soon. It's been a pleasure to bring this to you today. I hope that you look forward to the next story, where they share their real life, their real stories with real people. My name is Mo with the double O. Thank you for joining this session, and look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.